What is up, y'all? I made a video about this topic I'm about to go over on my TikTok and Instagram. So if you are interested in seeing that in a shorter form, be sure to follow me there. I also post a lot more. But actually, I post pretty good here too. Anyway, I wanted to talk about my experience at the gym today of me trying to approach a girl. Now, I have not been the very best at approaching women, girls. You know, I don't know why I said both, but you get the idea. I never really been the best with that. I've always had this internal like which I'm sure a lot of guys do. And you know what? I didn't end up approaching her. I know I'll give you guys a story in a second, but I want you guys to notice one thing is that even though I didn't, I still didn't condemn myself. I still didn't get mad at myself for not doing it. I still didn't I didn't get mad. I didn't like give in to all those emotions after the fact. All those things happen, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I'm at the gym. Today's chest day. Pow. All right, push day, and so chest, shoulders, and triceps. All right. So my first exercise was dips, weighted dips, and then I see her, and I'm like, wow, she's gorgeous. All right. So I'm like, maybe I will say something, but maybe I won't. I've never seen her at the gym. Mind you, I've been going to this gym for over a year, almost 2 now. So I'm like, I don't know what this is all about. But so I see her. She's like I said, and I'm just minding my business, right? I like see her somewhat looking at me. Could be in my head, honestly. You know how it is. Either I'm looking at her, she's looking at me, or it's in my head. But anyway, I am continuing through my workouts, and I'm getting towards the end, and then I'm doing this one shoulder machine where I'm like this, so I can work the side of my shoulder. And coincidentally, she's like 2 machines over. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Everything aligns, then I'll go say hi. Meaning, if I get up, I look at her, she looks at me, then I'll go approach. But if she doesn't look at me, then I'm just gonna mind my business and go away. So as I'm finishing up that last set, my heart is racing, and I'm like, and so I'm packing up, trying to act like just like chill because internally I'm about to jump around and freak out. And so I walk past her. She doesn't look up. Instead, honestly, I think she just looked down a little bit because, I don't know. I'm not going to assume anything. But, I was just like, damn, all right. Well, I just walked past. And then all that anxiety, all that fear that was bubbling up inside of me sort of went away. But then it turned into, like, shame and guilt. Wondering, like, oh, I should have done it. Like, why didn't I do it? Like, why are you being such a pussy or whatever? And I'm like, end of the day, it didn't happen. But the fact that I had that thought, that courageous action to at least think about it, it's a step, right? It's a step in the right direction instead of just continually shying away from that. And so there's no part 2. This literally just happened today. So there's no happy ending, you could say. But I have noticed that the ego that's inside of me, if you guys don't know what I've been talking about, I've been talking about this ego for the last 1,000 episodes I've been posting. It's this little version of yourself. Think of it as like a child version of you that's just trying to survive, that's trying to control, that's trying to predict everything that's going on. And that little kid version of myself was just expressing to me that, hey, we are not that ego. So our thoughts, those emotions, those negative emotions, that's not us. We are connected with God. That's where our consciousness is. Okay, we're just simply awareness of what the ego is portraying inside of this body. Does that sound weird? Yes, but if you can grasp the idea that we are not our thoughts or our feelings, and we're just simply observing those things, that's all I need you to understand. And so the ego was throwing up, hey, you are still attached, or you're still scared, you're still fearful of, getting rejected, or of, I don't know, how you may look, or all those different things, what people think, what people say. And so instead of condemning myself, instead of saying, yo, why do you care about what people think, getting mad, I simply acknowledge that, thank God for the opportunity to realize, hey, there's some part of me that's still scared of what people think. There's some part of me that's still scared of being rejected, of people, a girl saying no. And so now that I'm able to continually let go of that, I know that story is not real anymore, and I'm aware of that story. Next time that does happen, all that anxiety, all that fear that I may feel, I know it's fake. And so I can let go of that in the moment. I could pray to God. And if it goes away and I feel good and I approach and, things go swell, then cool. If it goes and I do the same thing, but it goes bad, then hey, at least I'm still taking a good step. And even if it goes like the worst way, quote unquote, and I just fall into that again, then I can continue to learn. But it's all a learning process. And one thing I always love to live by is that everything happens for a reason. So the fact that I didn't go up to her, it just happened for a reason. There's nothing that's like bad that's gonna happen that I should have done, that I could have done this or I should have done that. All those would have, could have, should have are just gonna plague you for the rest of your life. And so I simply just surrender those things to God. I'm like, hey, it wasn't meant to be. It is what it is. Next time maybe I'll be more courageous and do it. And if not, then hey, I'll learn. I'll live. I'm young, And if you are someone who is like me, maybe even older, and you're like running, you think you're running out of time, that's what's causing you to be so scared. That attachment, that grasp of trying to control things, saying, I'm running out of time, I gotta get it quick, I gotta get it quick. Let go. Understand God has a perfect plan for you. And as long as you remain faithful, you don't have to worry about whether or not it's gonna happen in this time or that time or this time. I found, my grandpa, okay, I'm gonna give you like a little personal story, right? My grandpa, him and my grandma have been separated / divorced for like pretty long time. I think even before I was born. So pretty long time, right? And about a year ago, I found out my grandpa had a girlfriend. Mind you, that's my grandpa. So that's like 70 years into his life. He found somebody. Do I know if they're still together? I have no idea. He's pretty alias. He's pretty just out the way. He doesn't really talk to anybody. But when I found out, I was like, it's never too late. So let me take a serious sign. Don't be so upset at yourself for not being able to get the things that you want. And if you are longing and craving love, know that there's a lot of love inside of you first. Be that person that can be loved first, who's capable of receiving it and giving it freely, unconditionally, without having to leech off of someone in order for you to feel complete. Be complete by yourself and whole by yourself, and everything else will be a lot more easier to move. And hey, I'll keep you all updated. If I find that girl again, or I find a different girl in the gym or out in public, I'll give you guys my I'll give you guys my raw, authentic, uncut, unfiltered journey of me getting through that. And don't get me wrong, guys, I've been dealing with this for a little bit. I've always hated approaching girls. It's always been scary. I've always been so scared, and I'm sure a lot of men are the same boat. But I'm willing to work through it. I'm willing to surrender it, maybe even go out there and approach even more. But we'll see. Hope this helps, guys. God bless. Catch y'all in the next one.